to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, it's part of the show. Didn't they teach you to reach for the stars while opening up the bars and keeping you chained down with mortgage bills and cars? Vaccines for your arms, kids sounding like supercharged, caffeinated hate-filled scars and rage-quit repertoires. No answers for yards, caught up in emotion that's not even yours. Imposter truths like impeccable retards, lined up for your serving of gish galloping wars. No remedy can't save the lost, in love with the yarn. I'm tired of walking into refracted shards, poor science displayed by disgusting bards. Soaked in sin with your dupe is delight in a new hand of cards. Been so long, seems like for love I'm just too hard, I'm just too hard. I said, welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, you don't know. Intoxicated 8 makes you believe you're spinning in space while you have no shame or grace. It's a disdainful state I used to contemplate, how to save myself from my own self-hate. Wonder why I was even made with a dreadful fate, forced to try and awake with a full plate. No one to help me stay awake or educate. I've had to liberate and fight through hidden gates. But my brother, heaven could never be late, and rockets don't work in space. It's all fake, the show is on Mars. It's a joke, but you're too far gone, it won't be long. Fepe's beak is strong. We have our song and we march along like streams of knowledge leading to God's holy pond, and lives of truth that hits the bong and sings the song, turns mankind from the wrong. We come in peace with a holy gown and all of us wearing our holy crowns. Said the earth is flat and we probably just won't get along, just to go along. I said, welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, you don't know.
Everything that you've been taught in school is their system, what they want you to learn. I think our time for having the ability to do anything about it is constantly diminishing, and I think we see that in just the overt disregard of even the false flag. They don't care anymore.
Sustained protest.
If you look back to the 50s, this stuff was very couched and hidden to a very sleepy audience. Well, the audience ain't so sleepy anymore, and yet it hasn't become more hidden. It's become more overt.
Sustained protest.
When you look at school, what you have been taught is how to function within their system. You have been taught nothing about the system.
Welcome back to another exciting adventure of Red Hen Radio. I'm your host, Travis Finlay. This is the follow-up to the initial episode with Alphonse, as we discussed how to address traffic citations, in my case, in the courtroom. And I think that you will find the common sense approach is, well, commonsensical. The one thing that I've found interesting as I've looked into this, and I'll put a link in the show notes if you haven't heard of Mark Stevens. Mark Stevens has a similar approach where we simply ask questions to establish jurisdiction for having to answer to these codes and these statutes and our alleged violation of them. The one thing that I find interesting is if you get a citation, you only have 3 options. So in all of this, there's this unknown 4th option. There's this unknown ability for you to address your accuser before you commit to pleading guilty or not guilty or whatever. But there's no 4th option on the ticket. And that's what I find interesting. So that's where this discussion started for me and continues as I continue to think through this. So if you are out there listening to this and you want to contribute in any possible fashion, then just make sure you hit me up on email, redhenradio@gmail.com. That's radar, echo, delta, Henry, echo, Nancy, radio alpha, delta igloo, omega @gmail.com. Or you can just look in the show notes. I'll try to remember to put it there. Let's get to it. Welcome to the show.
Listen, it all comes. Remember, you just need to keep a couple. If you could beat a traffic case, you could beat almost any other case. And it all comes down to the most basic things. I'm not arguing common law. I'm not arguing capital name stuff. I'm not getting involved in any word games with them. All I know is when I look at the Bill of Rights, Amendment number 4, you have a right to be secure in your persons, your house, and your papers. Okay, go. That means a warrant can only be issued upon probable cause, which means somebody's got to go to a judge like that cop and say, "Hey, I'm convinced this guy's keeping whatever. He's torturing little kids in his basement, and I'm here's my evidence of it, Judge." And the judge goes, "I'll issue a warrant for that," and boom, he comes and arrests you. Okay. Right. That's probable cause. Or he sees you do something to somebody where you punch somebody in the face and whatever, take off. That's probable cause. He can come arrest you, okay? You speeding or being in the wrong lane, that's a code infraction, okay? Now, when he answered you, when you said, "What's your probable cause?" and he said, "Well, you didn't have any plates," probable cause is. And guess what? A lot of these cops have no fucking clue what probable cause is. They don't know. They don't know the difference between the law, what the real law is and what the real law isn't. The law is he needs a warrant. Remember, he can only execute orders. He can't make judicial decisions. He's a member of the executive branch. He's got no judicial power. And what he's doing with you is he's making judicial decisions. "Hey, Travis, you don't look like you have any tags."
He's making a legal declaration or a legal determination.
Sure. He's making judicial decisions where he don't have judicial power to make those decisions. Only a judge can make those decisions. Now, he would have to go to a judge with what he said, like you said, with the tags, say, "Hey, Judge, this guy doesn't have any tags on his car. Let me get a warrant." And the judge would say, "No, he don't have tags on his car. I can't issue you a warrant because not having tags is not probable cause." So that cop would never be able to get a warrant for not having tags, okay? He can only get a warrant from that judge if he says, "Hey, Judge, I witnessed this guy punch somebody in the face, or I witnessed him hit a car." That's probable cause. Not he didn't have tags on his car. That's not probable cause, and he would never get the warrant. Okay, so we're not going to go to B, C, and D. We're going to stay on A.
Got it.
First thing we're going to do.
I hear you. So my 2 outstanding events coming up then are my...
You're going to attack both ways the same way. Same way you're going to attack them.
Okay.
Say, "Hey, Judge, they have probable cause?" Because nothing you did was a crime. You didn't injure anybody, did you?
All right. No.
Okay. There's nobody going to come in and testify against you, are they?
The cop will. He'll testify.
Cop can't testify. No, he can't testify.
No. He'll testify to the code violation.
Oh, he can't testify to that either. He can't testify to anything.
Well, but see, that's what happened on Tuesday. That's what happened on Tuesday in my trial. They had the cop come up as cross-examination. The state examined him and said, did Mr. Finley violate this code? How did he violate this code? He was driving in this lane. So he drove in a lane that was closed, and that's a code. And so you're the witness to that.
Judge, what are we doing here? Judge, what am I doing here? Is there a verified complaint before this court? Did somebody file a complaint before this court? Because if there's no complaint before this court, Judge, this court doesn't have jurisdiction, doesn't have personal jurisdiction or subject matter jurisdiction over me. There's got to be a complaint filed with this court in order for us to even discuss jurisdiction. Judge, is there a verified complaint filed before this court? And they'll try and talk about the code. Judge, I don't care if the code stuff, I don't care about. Judge, is there a verified complaint filed before this court? And also, I need you to make a judicial determination, Judge. Did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the arrest? Because if you rule he did, I'm going to have an appealable issue. No, you don't need to declare. No, all we're going to do, we could reference Article 4 of the Bill of Rights, and also check your state constitution out. Find it's either 1 through 8. I'll guarantee. They'll find out what search and seizure is. Under it'll be like Article 1 of your, was it New York? It'll be Article 1. Maryland, it'll be Article 1 of the Maryland Constitution. Look in there, Article 1. It'll be a section 1 through 8 or whatever. You'll see searches and seizures, which is parallel to the Bill of Rights, number 4. They're the same thing. And read what it says. That any search, dude, when he stopped you, that's a search. Okay? When he took your information, that's a seizure. Okay? When he took you away, that's kidnapping. Okay? That's not only a seizure, that's kidnapping. And look what it says. It says, will not be issued without a warrant backed by probable cause. Okay? He doesn't have a warrant backed by probable cause. So what he did is, let's not worry about what you're doing. Let's not go argue about what you're doing, what you did wrong. Let's talk about what he did wrong. Hey, Judge, before we get started here, is there a complaint filed before this court? No. Judge, this court has no jurisdiction without a verified complaint filed. There's no plaintiff here. Well, Officer so-and-so, Judge, did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the arrest? And that's the checkmate. You haven't. There's no plaintiff against you, so the court has no jurisdiction. There's no complaint filed. If the district attorney does not have a complaint filed against you, there's no jurisdiction from that court. That court has no jurisdiction.
All right. So
what the fuck are you doing in there?
All right. So now what you're suggesting then is that I submit those things in writing in hopes that they simply dismiss the case altogether and not even go to that day.
Yeah, I don't know what stage you're at. But in other words, if I just happened to me, say I got pulled over yesterday, whatever, or 2 days ago, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write a letter, just like that letter I gave you.
Yeah. And
I'm going to hit them 4 points basically. Hey, Judge, did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the arrest? That's one of the things. Listen, when I come in, Judge, I'm going to need you to make a judicial decision, judicial determination, because he sort of gets what I'm doing. I'm putting him on the spot. I'm going to make him rule whether that cop had probable cause, and he knows that cop didn't have probable cause. So they have a choice to make at that point. Do they want to fuck with you and bring you in because they're in the wrong and they know they're in the wrong, or do they just sort of make you go away by the cop doesn't show up, or they let the time run out, or because they'll never admit to you that you're right. Oh, you're right. Travis, you're right. They're never going to admit you're right. They just make things go away. Okay, things just sort of go away because they don't want you to know. They don't want to give you the satisfaction of saying, "Hey, you're right. We didn't have probable cause." So that's your main thing is. I'm in this court. How does this court get jurisdiction over me? Well, wait, somebody's got to file a complaint against me. Well, the cop can't file a complaint against me. He's not an injured party. You didn't injure the cop. He can't be a witness and the prosecutor at the same time. So there's no prosecutor here, so he can't testify about anything. Okay? There's no injured party here. Where's the plaintiff? Is there a complaint filed before this court? Judge, if there's no complaint, this court has no jurisdiction, has no personal jurisdiction or subject matter jurisdiction unless there's a verified complaint filed against me. I don't see a complaint, Judge. And then if they move on to the code infraction, hey, Judge, did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the arrest? And did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the citation? 2 things that happened. You were arrested.
And then you've got
2 things happened to you. You were arrested, and he wrote you a citation. You don't have probable cause for either one. Hey, Judge, did he have probable cause for the arrest? No. Judge, did he have probable cause for the citation? No, he don't have probable cause for the citation because the citation is a code infraction. You didn't break a law. It's a code infraction. Code infractions are not probable cause, and the judge knows that.
And so here's the clincher where he's going to cancel the appointment. Given that I see no verified complaint that's been filed against me, and I've been sent a notice to appear, which is not a properly served summons, I'm going to require compensation of $1,000 per day for my time that I will.
Why not? And guess what? Walk in with a bill of $1,000 with the district attorney's name on it and the cop's name on it.
Yeah.
Walk in with bills with the cop's name on it and the attorney's name on it. And when you walk in, most likely district attorneys are not at traffic cases, okay? Rarely. Sometimes they are, but rarely. Walk in and hand the cop, when proceedings start, Your Honor, I got a couple of things I need to take care of real quick. And you walk up, you hand it to the officer. Here's your bill. Bill, what's this? Well, judge is getting paid for being here today. You're being paid to be here today. Shouldn't I be paid to be here today? Well, no man can summon me. No willfully summon me to be somewhere without giving me just Remember, the only way you can get me in court is you need to file a complaint against me and you have to serve me a summons. Then you can get me in court. Then I can't ask for compensation. But when you give me a notice to appear and you've got a little fucking citation over here, which is that's not a cause of action, a citation. It's not a complaint. It's not an official complaint, a citation. It's a code infraction.
Yeah. Where were you on Monday, brother?
Yeah, but I'm saying this is the same with everything, Travis. If you can get this straight, get this like molded out, that's your out. Hey, judge, is there a complaint filed before this court? Listen, to be able to question. Listen, I have a right to due process. I have to be able to question the party, the injured party. Where's the plaintiff, judge? I don't see a complaint. Is there a complaint? Did the district attorney file a complaint against me? I don't see it. Well, if there's no complaint filed against me, what am I doing here? Well, you did this, your code infraction. Oh, judge, I don't understand any of that stuff. Judge, did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for that arrest? Got to rule no, dude. He's got to let you go. He has to. He can't just say, well, I'm going to make it up as I go along and, you speeding is probable cause. No, it's not. He knows it's not probable cause. And if he's an idiot enough to rule that, he's going to get fucking overturned. In appellate court. He's going to look at that and go, that's not probable cause, man. That's why you do that. Say, judge, listen, I need you to make a ruling on this because, depending on how you rule, I'm going to have an appealable issue here. Does Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the arrest? Because if you rule he does, and I know he doesn't, then I'm going to appeal this, judge. I need you to make a decision, judge. And if you want to judge, I don't care about the code stuff. I need you to make a decision. Why are we here? Does Officer so-and-so have probable cause? Because nothing can get started at that stage. In other words, you're taking it from ground zero. You're taking it from A. There's no complaint filed against you in that court, so that court shouldn't have jurisdiction over you. They brought you in there for a code violation, okay? Well, remember, the only way they can get a man in the court, or any person in the court, is they got to complaint's got to be filed against them, and you got to be served a summons. Well, that wasn't done to you. So you're not there. You can say, hey, I'm here under special appearance, whatever. Say, does Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the arrest? Did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the citation? Both answers are no, because they're not crimes. They're code infractions that you committed. That's not a crime. And without a complaint being filed before that court can't even accept a plea from you. Not supposed to be accepting pleas from you, because there's no jurisdiction. There's no party here, dude. There's nobody coming at you. Who's coming at me? The cop? Judge, I don't understand. Where's the plaintiff? Is there a complaint filed before this court? I don't see the plaintiff. I need to be able to question the plaintiff. I got to find out how they're injured. They're not. There's nobody there. The cop can't be a witness. He's not an injured party.
Yeah. Right.
Don't worry about the other stuff. Stick with the basics.
Got it.
Probable cause warrant.
Okay, so now this seems to me to be a development for you since you've been on Crow.
Yeah. I mean, I listen. It actually, we're doing a lot of the same stuff what common law stuff is doing. See, here's what you need to get in your head. Here's what Zeke taught me basically, and what people don't know. The courts that you're seeing there, the traffic courts, divorce courts, whatever regular courts you see, they're courts created by Congress. Okay, they were created through the Judiciary Act in 1789, okay? Congress created courts. Does Congress have any judicial power? No. No, you got separation of powers. You got the legislative branch They make laws for their entities. We have the executive branch. They execute orders from the judicial branch, and they enforce code from the legislative branch. Okay, so you have your separation of powers, your three separation of powers: executive, legislative, and judicial. Those courts have no judicial power. That's why when you walk in those courts, you have no constitutional rights in those courts until you assert them, and until you invoke them, until you assert them. And you still may not have them in that court, which means you might have to attack collateral. You file your own suit against them. But when you raise motions like that, like we're doing here, what you're doing is you're asserting your rights. You're asserting common law, okay? You're making them deal with you. So you're in a court that has no judicial power, yet you've got that judge and you're putting them on the spot. Hey, judge, did officer so-and-so have probable cause? I need a ruling on this, judge. I need you to rule on this, judge. Did he have probable cause or not? You're forcing him to make a judicial decision. Dude, he knows if he makes the wrong decision, he's going to get overturned. And it's a black and white issue for him. He knows that you not having tags is you didn't break the law. That's a code infraction. You committed a code infraction. And he knows the difference. The fucking judge knows the difference. The cop might not know.
Well, let me ask you this question then. So when would they ever be able to indict on code infractions? How would that ever be brought up? Because it's not probable cause. It's just a matter of, it's just a word spell. It's just a manipulation of your mind that you think that you violated this code and he's a cop, therefore I have to do this.
Yes, as soon as you walk into that, remember now, Travis, if we walk into court, and this is every traffic stop ever happened, when every person walks into court, okay, the district attorney doesn't have a complaint filed against him. The district attorney didn't take that citation and fill out a complaint and file it with the court, okay? What's happening is you're showing up, and there's a cop there that's going to get on the stand, whatever. I mean, there is a district attorney there, but there's not a verified complaint filed before that court.
Let me ask you a question.
Court, hey, wait, that court right off the bat has no jurisdiction over you. But if you go along with them and you start arguing, I wasn't doing 70, I'm doing 60. Boom, you're in, dude. They got you.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this question. Do you go down to court and offer your services for people and tell them, watch this? Or why wouldn't you be doing this? And then, I just can't imagine that people would not.
Here's my only fear is
door, dude.
If you get too vocal and you get too out there, they're going to make life uncomfortable for you. They're going to, you know what I mean? You're going to be a target. And my goal is not to be a target. My goal is to be left the fuck alone. Right. That's my main goal. Is, hey, listen, guys, you want to go play with the rest of the sheep and go mess with them? Have to it. That's up to them people to figure out what's going on. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'll help somebody if they ask me, but I'm not going on a crusade to save the world, with them, because like I said, you're going to become a target if you do too much of that, and now, the last thing they want is, last thing they want is you to step up in court and say this out loud. That's why, first of all, you put everything in writing, so that if you hand something to judge, like you hand a judge, like a motion to dismiss for failure to state a cause of action, which means there's no complaint filed against me, judge. There's no action in this court against me. That code infraction is not a cause of action. So that's one way you get out, failure to state a cause of action. Hey, judge, I need you to make a judicial ruling. Did officer so-and-so have probable cause for the arrest? Well, you weren't arrested, Mr. Judge, hold on a second. Well, I'm not free to move from point A to point B. I'm arrested. Okay? I'm arrested.
Right. Yeah.
That's up to you. I mean, that's up to you to decide, too.
Yeah, that's in the basic etymology of the word arrest. It just means to stop. You've stopped me. You've arrested me. Yeah.
Hey, you say, hey, Judge, you know what? Hey, Judge, when you're going home, can I just take my car and pull you over and detain you for some, whatever, subjective amount of time that I deem fit? Right. Am I allowed to do that to you, Judge?
Right.
No, I can't do that to you. I can't detain you. Doesn't matter who I am. I can't detain you. Remember, he's a member of the executive branch. He's got no judicial power. All the cop can do is execute orders. He could a warrant's an order. He can execute a warrant. Like I said, if you commit a crime, probable cause. That's all he can do. He can't make judicial decisions to say, Travis doesn't have tags. I'm going to pull him over for this code infraction. Now he's a fucking judge. He's over there making judicial decisions on what he can do with you. He don't have that power. And the way that gets nipped in the butt is he needs a warrant or he needs probable cause, and he has neither.
And by that, he is simply an extension of the judicial decision of the judge. He's not making the judicial decision.
He shouldn't be making, but he is. He is making decisions.
No,
but he shouldn't.
I mean that if he does go get a warrant, it's the judge that issues the command.
Because you got the judicial power. The judge has the judicial power to make that decision. Yes.
And then he is just the executor of that.
He executes it. Executive branch. He executes the warrant, the order he executes. All he's doing is executing orders. Okay?
So if he pulls
Code violations are not orders. Code violations are not orders.
If he pulls you over, you could say, what warrant are you executing?
Well, you can, I mean, depending on you could ask, like, you could pull it over and say, hey, listen, I'm not here to argue with you, officer. So I just a couple quick questions for you. Do you mind? He's going to say, yeah, what? I say, officer, do you have a warrant, a signed warrant to stop me? He's going to say, no. Say, officer, what's your probable cause for stopping me? Well, you didn't have any tags. Officer, you know that's not probable cause. That's a code infraction. What's your probable cause for stopping me? You know, you don't have to get into it with him, but you lay it in his head, basically, that why is this guy asking me legal questions like this? You know, it's like, because when somebody asks you questions like that, a lot of times they know a little more than you know, okay, and it puts them on a defensive, and maybe you won't get a citation from the start when you start asking questions like that. But you can't argue with them at the side of the road and win. It's not going to happen. That guy's going to do it. They'll pull you out of the fucking car. They'll do whatever they want to do. So all you do is you grin, you smile, and you take the citation. Remember, it doesn't matter whether you showed your license or not.
Now, what about a situation like, okay, but in the situation where I was with that one cop where I said, you don't have probable cause, you don't have a warrant, because I did that the first time. That's what I did the first time. And he went toe-to-toe with me and said, the probable cause is you're breaking a code violation, and the probable cause.
Officer, I believe you're incorrect. Take me to the magistrate right now. Let's get the magistrate to decide on probable cause. Let's get a determination right now, officer. Take me before the magistrate right now. Boom. I need a decision right here, officer. Let's take me. You have a right.
So how about that?
Take me to the magistrate.
Right. So then what I should have done, instead of getting out of my car and letting him tow me, I should have said, take me to the magistrate right now, and we'll let him determine this right now. I mean, how can I dictate to him what to do? I mean,
officer,
why would he say, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just get out of your car. We're going to tow it.
Because
when you request, they're supposed to bring you to magistrate right away. You're asking, hey, let's get a judge to make a decision here.
What's that called? It's almost like pleading the fifth. It's almost like when you invoke it's like invoking. As soon as you invoke, you know, if you know you can do it, as long as you don't do it, they're not in violation of your rights. But if you invoke,
that supervisor showed up, hey, you know what? Hey, listen, I'm requesting the judge right now. Take me before a judge right now. I want the judge to rule on probable cause right now, because I don't think you had probable cause to stop me. You have to be able to produce probable cause. You're telling me I don't have plates. That's not probable cause. So let's take me to the judge right now. You know, and you sort of put them in that spot too. They can do what they want to do.
Dude, 4 days ago, dude.
Well,
I spent 9 hours in the clink, man.
Well, guess what? You get this dismissed, then it gets really hairy for that cop, because that's false imprisonment. You were falsely imprisoned because he didn't have a warrant, he didn't have probable cause, and he locked you up for no warrant, no probable cause. See, then you can file a case against the cop. How about that? False imprisonment. Hey, especially if you walk out with the decision that the cop didn't have probable cause for the stop. Now the cop just hung himself because he locked you up for 9 hours, took your freedom away for 9 hours. Yeah, that's let's see, that cost about charged about $200,000 for that, you know. And they may settle. Maybe they'll settle. The main thing is you need to when you get that decision that they didn't have probable cause, well, then he's fucked, because you just took the entire action and destroyed it.
Okay, so do you think once I file this paperwork, a decision will be made before going to trial? Or do you think he'll let it ride, accept the paperwork, dismiss it? He can dismiss it. It's like a motion to dismiss, isn't it, to a certain extent?
Well, he might listen, dude. If you send a letter, he might just totally ignore it, okay? And that's fine. They can do that. But I want to try and nip it in the bud as quick as possible. All right, so I'm going to send the letter that I sent you, basically. That's going to be, they're the four main questions I'm going to state, because I'm actually letting them know. The judge knows that when we walk in there that there's going to be no complaint filed by the district attorney. Now, he knows that there's no complaint filed. And you're in there saying, hey, listen, if there's no complaint filed, I'm going to need a legal, because I'm going to have to file against the district attorney and the cop for filing a false complaint against me. That's a false complaint. There's no injured party on that complaint. That doesn't meet any standards, that complaint. First of all, you weren't stopped properly, and the citation has no lawful basis. This is where you beat them. You don't go fighting the other stuff. Remember, it's never about what you did. It's about what they do. All right? They can never do it right. All right? They never do things right. Their paperwork, like Zeke said, their paperwork's never right. It's never right. He didn't have a warrant to stop you, and he didn't have probable cause. We're not moving off of that. We don't need to go anywhere but that. And the other thing we're going to hang on to, hey, Judge, is there a verified complaint filed before this court? Judge, I don't understand. If there's no complaint before this court can't assume no personal or subject matter jurisdiction over me. How can a court have jurisdiction over you if there's no complaint filed against you? That's just like somebody sending you a letter saying, hey, we own you, and we're going to tell you what to do and where to go. No. Law doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Swear a warrant against me that I've committed a crime against them. I raped them. I did something to them, and they go to the cop, and the cop goes to the judge, and they get a warrant sworn out, and they come pick you up. Okay, that's one way to get me in court. Number two is civil, where somebody files a complaint against me that I've caused them damage. Why I broke a contract, or I did something to their property, or I did something to them. But they got to file a complaint against me and have me properly summoned. That's the only way they can get me in court. They're the only two ways they get me in court. Any other thing is bullshit. Notice to appear is not a summons, though they try to act like it's summons, but it's not a summons. You know what a summons is. It's got to be served to you in a proper way, and it's got to have a complaint attached to it. That's not what that was, okay? So that's not a summons that you have there. That notice to appear is not a summons.
All right.
And that citation is not, it's a code infraction. It's not a law that you broke. So we don't move off of those three things. So you just bang that into your head, man. Complaint, no jurisdiction. Let
me ask a favor of you, Alphonse, if you don't mind. And you've already given me so much, and so I appreciate that with all of my heart. I've started a new channel that I have intended to be a channel of truth, where we talk about everything from chemtrails to tickets in traffic court, whatever. Okay.
Right.
But part of my service to my audience, I would like to provide them with research materials so that they don't just hear our discussion, but that they can go and look it up themselves. Is there anything besides Zeke's lectures? Would you recommend?
It's not even Zeke's lectures. It's not even a Zeke's lectures.
Okay.
It's a couple. Dude, it's 2 paragraphs. Go read Amendment 4. There's Bill of Rights.
Okay.
Number 4.
That basic.
It's right there.
Basic.
It's right there. What's it say? Go read Amendment 4. What's it say?
I've read it. I just don't have it memorized, but I've read it. And so I know that you're. I know
it
that
says,
you're right.
Basically, overview. It says you have a right to be secure, and don't get hung up on the word person either. You have a right to be secure in your person, your house, your papers.
Yeah.
And your things, basically,
right,
okay?
yeah.
You have a right for... Okay, well, are you secure when some random person, like calling them a cop, pulls you over and demands you give them your papers? It's like fucking Germany. Hey, give me your papers. Show me your papers. Show me your papers.
Papers, please.
That's not secure. So that's your protection against them, the government. They're the rules that they have to follow. They swore... You and I didn't swear to follow the Constitution. They swore to uphold the state Constitution and the federal Constitution. They're the ones that have obligations to follow the Constitution. Well, the Constitution says, hey, you need to have a warrant to search and seize anything from me. When you stop me, you arrested me when you stopped me. That's a seizure. You seize my rights. you seize my liberty. That's a seizure. Do you have a warrant do you have probable cause? Because it says right in the Fourth Amendment, and if you look in your state constitution, you'll find that paragraph 2 under the article. It'll be under Article 1. It'll be 1 through 8. Go look up the search and seizure in Maryland. You'll see it. I don't know. Mine's 8. In Pennsylvania, it's Article 1, Section 8. And it mimics the Bill of Rights pretty much, the Amendment 4.
Yeah.
So it's clear as day what it says there. They need a warrant, okay? They don't have a warrant when they're stopping you. But they have people believing that, oh, my God, I broke the law. I didn't, I went through a red light. I did. No, you didn't break the law. That's a code infraction. You did. That's a code infraction. And if you want to stay in that game and play the game with them as far as they can charge you for codes, that's a hell of a way to live because they can keep changing the game anytime they want. They just keep writing new codes. I don't understand that stuff. All I know is Article 4 of the U.S. Constitution or your state constitution. If I'm fighting them in the state, I'm going to stick with the state constitution, Article 1, Section 8. I just know what it says. It says, hey, you need to have a warrant to do anything with me. Did you have a warrant? You didn't have a warrant? Oh, you broke the law. Law says you have to have a warrant. Judge, you need a decision here. Did Officer so-and-so have a warrant? Probable cause. Dude, I'm not doing. I'm beating them over the head with their own stuff. I'm not arguing capital names. I'm not arguing any of that bullshit. I'm staying basic as I can be. Hey, how did you stop me? I don't understand how you stopped me. You didn't have a warrant. You didn't have probable cause. We're going to ground zero.
So let me
with
ask you
that.
this question. This was my question that I asked Mark Stevens, and he was there was no good answer. My question is, why stop?
Oh, because they'll hunt you down and shoot you.
That's what Mark said.
They'll call his buddies and they'll shoot you. Yeah, that's why. That's duress. Listen, just because you give them your license doesn't mean anything. See, people get hung up. Well, if I give my license, it means I consent. No, it does. Listen, people when they're people that think like that, they're thinking on. They always think about what I did. What did I do wrong? What did I do? It doesn't matter what you did. It always matters what they do. Okay. They stopped you without a warrant. They stopped you without probable cause. Game over at this point. We don't need to move anywhere. Why? I don't need to go argue any codes or statutes. Hey, Judge, I don't understand how this guy stopped me. He didn't have probable cause. He didn't have a warrant. What's he doing arresting me? Constitution right there says he's got to have a warrant, Judge. He's got a probable cause. Warrant supported by probable cause. Judge, you don't have that. He didn't see me commit a crime, Judge. I don't see any complaint against me that I committed a crime. I don't see anything here. Judge, did the officer have probable cause? Dude, he's got to rule no. He didn't have probable cause. Or he's got to make the thing go away. So first thing I would do when I get stopped, I'm going to send a letter to the judge with those 4 questions. And I've done it for like 5 people already, and their shit just goes away. They never tell them why, but they never hear from them again, or the cop doesn't show up, or it's always some bullshit. They never give them a reason, but their citation seems to go away, okay? And because, dude, you're sticking them with the basics. Hey, listen, I need a judicial decision, and that's what a judicial decision is. You're making him rule on the probable cause. You don't have probable cause. Then the others are just icing on the cake when you go after, hey, Judge, is there a complaint filed with this court? Because think about this. How can a court get jurisdiction over you?
So here it is. Right. Okay,
file
so
something against you.
So when you fail to appear, they treat that as though you've ignored a summons.
Oh, yeah, he'd come out and arrest you, too. I mean, they'll come out and arrest you, yeah, but you could fight that, too, but, dude, they got guns.
No, I would fight it in court. But I just put that together because that's the whole failure to appear thing, failure to appear. So you get a notice in the mail that says your trial is set for here. This is your notice to appear. Should you fail to appear, a capias can be put out for you. Blah 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 blah. Right, and guess what? If you don't answer, they're going to come get you because they're going to think you're one of the little minions, and that you're just being ignorant, and they're going to come get you. But when you start conversing with them through just sending the letter, and then if they want to go forward and move forward, dude, you're going to walk in with motions right away. You're going to walk in with 3 motions. One's going to be improper service, insufficiency of service. Because remember, there need to be a complaint filed against you. You need to be served. There was no complaint filed against you. You were not served. So right now we have 1, insufficiency of service. Number 2, dude, there's no complaint filed with the court.
Court has no jurisdiction. Motion to dismiss for basically because they can't establish a personal jurisdiction or a subject matter jurisdiction. So there's your second motion. Third,
no plaintiff, no injured party.
Well, that's the complaint. There's no complaint, so there's no jurisdiction. In a way, that goes hand in hand. You don't even have to mention the plaintiffs. There's no complaint. That goes hand in hand.
Okay.
But those two alone, that's kryptonite. Them basically.
Well, what's the third? Can you think of it? I'm taking notes.
Then you could push it with like, hey, listen, what am I doing here? If there's no complaint filed against me, there's no plaintiff here. Listen, Judge, I need a leave of court because I need to prepare a case against the district attorney and the officer for filing a false complaint against me because they drugged me into court here. There's no complaint filed against me. You know, this is a false complaint. Keep talking about it. So I don't understand that code stuff, Judge. All I need to know is, did Officer so probable cause for the arrest, or did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the citation that he wrote? There's two things happen to you. Remember, he arrested you. There's actually three things. Which is an arrest. He's holding you, which is false imprisonment. Okay, so there's two things there, and now he's going to write a citation, which is the third thing, which is a code infraction, which is not probable cause. So he's now basically done three things wrong. So my thing is, I'm going to write the judge a letter. I'm going to send a copy to the district attorney, and then copy to the cop. Maybe he'll wise up when he sees what you spelled out there, and he starts asking people, because he'll go ask his legal team, hey, what does this mean? You know, what are they? Oh, dude, you better let this go. You know, let this go. Let this guy go, you know. Because that judge can only really rule one way, dude. He's got to rule that there's no probable cause. Well, if there's no probable cause, why the fuck are we in a criminal proceeding? Because that's what traffic court is. It's a criminal proceeding. That's how they handle it. Why are we here? Why am I here? Code infraction. Judge, did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for arresting me? Did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the citation? You're asking judicial questions to him. Probable cause. Not code infraction, probable cause. Need a determination from you, Judge. Because I may have to use this as an appealable issue. I need a determination. Because that judge doesn't want to get overturned. Last thing he wants is to get overturned. And he knows it's black and white. He knows the cops don't have probable cause. And he knows if he doesn't rule on it or make this thing go away some way, or tell the cop he might want to drop this, he's going to get overturned if he keeps going forward. Because you put him in a box. He's answering something he knows he's got to answer one way. He can only answer it one way.
Wow.
That's how Zeke beat him. Zeke's won like 50-something cases against these people, different stuff. And he tries different things too. He's tried everything under the sun since the 80s. They've been doing that stuff. But Zeke's basic. It's listen, let's not go to B, C, D, and E. Let's not stop arguing what we did. Because everybody goes in the court argues what they did. It's all about what they did. Hey, you didn't have any tags. It's all about you. Don't let it move on to you. Hey, let's go back to ground zero. Let's make it about him, the cop. Hey, probable cause, warrant? Nope. Why are we here? Why am I here? Well, you don't have any plates. Okay, I don't have any plates. Yup, you're right, I don't have any plates. Officer, judge, did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the stop, for the arrest? Did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the citation? Judge knows the answer. It's no. No. And I don't know what they did with the officer. You could bring this up at any time. You can bring it up at your next thing with this. Just submit it. Send a letter. I said I would first send a letter because it seems like that the 5 people I've dealt with that did this shit's way. They come up with some bullshit reason why they're not going forward or whatever, but the thing goes away because they know what the judge knows what you're setting them up for. It basically, he would hang the cop. Basically, if he brought you into court, he's going to hang the cop because he's got a rule on probable cause. And the answer is no. There's no probable cause. So now when he rules no, he just hung the cop. It's not a cop stuck you in fucking jail for 9 hours.
You know what's interesting about this? Earlier on when I was talking with you about the theft of my property in all three instances where my car was towed. I went in and I offered the garage owner. I said, "Look, I'm going to bring a suit against you, and this is how much I'm going to charge you per day." He's like, "I only charge $35 of storage." I'm like, "Yeah, well, that's not what I'm going to charge you." And he said, "Well, you know what? I think I'm going to see if how it turns out with your disputing the tickets." You know,
listen, dude, here's what you do with a tow truck driver when you go there to pick your car up. You got my car? Yeah. I need to see a copy of the warrant that you executed to take my car. What warrant? Oh, you need to have a warrant. So you did have a warrant, right? To take my car? No, the cop told you. Law says you need to have a warrant. You don't have a warrant? He didn't have a warrant. The cop didn't have a warrant either. You didn't have a warrant? So wait, you took my car without a warrant? You took my car without a warrant. Well, the cop told us to. I don't care what the cop can tell you to jump off a bridge. It doesn't matter what the cop told you.
Yeah,
the law is.
That's what I said.
The law is you need a warrant. The law says you need a warrant to seize my property. No one can command you to seize my property. No one can go to another person and say, "Here, go take that guy's car. Go put his car up on your truck and take it."
What about the RICO Act?
That's federal stuff. They're hard to get. I mean, that's.
You wouldn't even worry about that. You wouldn't worry about that.
That's federal stuff. Yeah, that's grand scale. Yeah, I mean,
because it's racketeering. I mean, they've got a racket.
Sure, it's racketeering. Of course, it's racketeering. We know it's racketeering. They know it's racketeering. Okay, dude. All our hope is that you're the squeaky wheel, and they look at you and you go, "You know what? This guy's more fucking trouble than he's worth. Make him go away." That's all we want. You know, this guy's more trouble than he's worth. Make him go away. This guy could be dangerous, basically. You know, he's asking pointed questions. You know,
damn straight, dude. I just got my.
Let me ask you this, Travis.
Alphonse.
How many people walk into court with a judge at a traffic court and say, "Hey, judge, did Officer so and so have probable cause?" Have you ever fucking heard that in traffic court?
No, dude. Listen. I was sitting in traffic all day Tuesday, watching these people bend over.
Yep.
And the judge was like, I swear, was like Father Abbott, who said, "I've heard your plea of guilty and I accept it, my child."
Yes.
It was absolutely ridiculous. The whole thing, I was thinking, this makes me absolutely sick. So what was funny, though, even though I didn't do this, I thought I did pretty well. Overall, I thought I handled myself really well. And after I lost my case, I was outside waiting for the paperwork, and the bailiff came outside, and I said, "Let me ask you a question. What did you think about all that?" She said, "You know what?" She said, "I've never seen that judge lose his cool before, and you made him lose his cool."
Because you were asking him, maybe you put him on the spot, things that he might not have known or he's not certain of. When do people lose their cool? When they don't know, and they start to look like a fool, or they're flustered. Then they get angry. You know, then they get mad.
Right. Because
and if the judge says, "Hey, Travis, whatever, I'm going to issue a plea for you." "Oh, hold on a second, Judge. There's no complaint. There's not even a case before this court. How could you issue a plea when there's no case? Can't issue a plea for me. There's no case. There's no complaint before this court.
Yeah.
I need you to make a judicial determination. Did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the arrest?" And then you just fucking hammer that. No. Did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for writing the citation? Because they're the two things he happened that he needs probable cause for. To stop you, he needs probable cause. And then to issue something to you, like a citation, he needs probable cause. He can't issue you fucking citations. He's not a fucking judge. He's not a judge and jury.
Right.
You only execute orders. You can only execute a warrant. That's it. Or he sees you injure somebody, so he arrests you. That's his only powers. Everything else is bullshit. What else he does, he has no power to do. But people don't call him on it. They don't know any better.
Right. That's it, man. That's it.
They play the old points game. "Hey, listen, if you do this, you won't have any points." And and people go, "Oh, thank God. It only cost me $200, and I got no points. Oh, thank you, Judge. Thank you."
Can you believe this? Watch this. Can you believe this? I went into the tow truck, only because I only knew enough. I only knew so much, and I only knew this, that, and the other. But
you did good. You got him down, though. You still got him down.
Yeah, but listen. So I went in, and I said, "Look, I said, I'm going to file suit against you. I said, if you don't charge me anything right now, I'll knock. Either I won't file the charge or file the suit or whatever. He's like, look, I'll take $40 off. How about I do that for you? I'm doing you a favor. I said, what? You've stolen my property. You're making me pay you back, and you're knocking $40 off, and that's doing me a favor? You're extorting money from me, but you're saying, I'm only going to extort this much instead of this much. That's a favor? Fungool, right?
And even that scared him, though, right? Because he did come down, right?
Yeah.
Now think about how he would have been scared when you walked in with a copy of your state constitution where it says searches and seizures.
Yeah.
And you took away. I'm saying. What do you think his reaction would have been if you walked in there with a one sheet there with a paragraph would highlighted that he needs a warrant to search, and you say, I need a copy of the warrant that you used to take my car. What warrant?
You know what? Oh, you know what I'm going to do, Alphonse? Check it out. Listen to what I'm going to do. You ready for this? I went in, and I haven't filed suit yet because I don't know his name. He will not give me his name. The police department, the owner, the cops, the police department, they will not divulge his name. And I walked in and I said, look,
I got legal process here with this officer. I need to file suit against this man. I need to know his name. You know?
Well, yeah, but they're like, who are you? I don't have to do what you say. So they're saying to me, he's like, you're going to have to do your homework. You're going to have to get a court order or something, blah, blah, blah. But if I go in there with the Constitution, like you just said, and show them that and say, now, you told me I have to do my homework, and I've been doing my homework. Now help me understand it. Help me see if I'm understanding this paragraph. You see this paragraph right here about the search and seizure? Do you have the warrant on record here for when you stole my property?
I need a copy of the warrant that you used. You have the warrant? You have the warrant? Or what was your probable cause? Oh, you didn't have any time. That's not, officer, you know that's not probable cause. And if you don't know that, the judge knows it's not probable cause. And I'll handle that too, but I need a copy of the warrant. You have a copy of the warrant? Because it says you need to have a warrant. I don't think you had a warrant. Yeah, you stick them, you go to ground zero, dude. It's always the basics. Like it's always their paperwork. Their paperwork's never right. Never right. But they have people confused to the point where people are always arguing their stuff, but they did. Yeah, they did this to me. They did that to me.
Oh, yeah, you're arguing the merits of the case. You're
arguing that. Let's not worry about what I did. Let's worry about what he did. Let's not move until they can resolve what he did, we can't even move on to me. We can't even get to me unless we get through him first.
Right.
He's got to prove he did everything right. Hey, he's got to prove he followed the law. The law says
not only that, but then going back to what you said, there's no complaint. There's no case.
There's no complaint. There's no case. So I'm confused with all that stuff, Your Honor. There's no complaint before this court. How can a court have personal and subject matter jurisdiction over me without a complaint being filed against it? Who's coming at me? Judge, I don't see anything. Where's the plaintiff? Who's coming for me, Judge? I don't see a plaintiff. Officer so-and-so, he's not a witness. He can't be a prosecutor or a witness. No, he's not an injured party. Judge, there's procedures. Somebody's got to file a complaint against me and serve me properly for this court-assumed jurisdiction. I haven't seen no complaint filed. No service.
You pull the Columbo. You say, I'm sorry, just pardon me. I'm just looking through my notes here. I fail to see a summons here in my notes. Do you have a summons, Judge? Is there a summons there?
Yeah, they're going to try and move you off to the code. We're just dumb. We're just stupid. We're basic. Judge, I don't understand what's going on here. I don't understand, Judge. It says he needs a warrant or probable cause. What's his warrant? Where's his warrant? What's his probable cause for the stop and for the citation? Judge, I don't understand. Why are we here? Is there a complaint here, Judge? I'm looking for a plaintiff. And they say, I'm just going to issue a plea for you. Issue a plea? Where's the complaint? I don't see a complaint filed before this court. A complaint filed before the court.
Point of order, objection, point of order.
Judge, listen, I need you to make a decision, a judicial decision. Did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the arrest? Judge, you got to make a decision because this is going to be an appealable issue. The judge knows that, too. As soon as you bring up, Judge, I need you to make, if he tries to skirt it, Judge, I need you to make a decision, Judge, because this will be an appealable issue for me. Because he knows you're going to go appeal right away, and the first thing they're going to do is you're going to go after the probable cause. Hey, I'm in this trial. There's no probable cause. And another judge eventually will get that and look at that and go, there's no probable cause. That's a code infraction. That's not probable cause. Remember, for probable cause, there's got to be a real party in interest. Somebody's been injured. You did something to injure somebody, okay? And you need to have a right to cross-examine them. You can't cross-examine the district attorney who filed on behalf of the people of Maryland. It's
right.
First of all,
it's almost like testifying for hearsay.
Who says he's representing the people of Maryland? I'm one of the people of Maryland. Not representing me, my family's people of Maryland. He's not representing them. I don't think there's any plaintiff. There's no such plaintiff as the people of Maryland. And listen, I need the name, address, and phone number of all these people from Maryland that have claimed I've injured them, that my actions have injured them, because I need to subpoena these people to cross-examine them. I have a right to defend myself.
Right.
I have a right to face my accuser. That's also in the Constitution, in the state and federal Constitution. You have a right to face your accuser. You have a right to question your accuser. Hey, I need to question my district attorney's not my accuser. He wasn't there. The cops, he's not my accuser. He's not claiming he was injured. See, the bottom line is there's no valid complaint before the court when you walk in. So the court right there doesn't have jurisdiction. Then the game is they try and move you on to talking about the code. Mr. So-and-so, Travis, you had no tags. And then you start talking about the code, and now you've consented to it. As soon as you start talking about the code or whatever that judge brings up, now you've consented to it, that they have jurisdiction. But when you play dummy, like you say, Columbo, hey, Judge, I don't understand. Judge, is there a verified complaint before this court? I don't see a complaint from the district attorney. Did the district attorney file a complaint against me?
And it can't be done after the fact.
No, there's no complaint. Well, Judge, this court has no subject matter or personal jurisdiction over me without a complaint filed before this court.
Now, you have in your paragraph 4 only the district attorney and the police officer. Couldn't you stretch that out to the court itself, to the judge?
Well, remember, the court's supposed to be an impartial body, but you and I know that they're not, and they stick up for the cops and all. But we're not going to attack the court. All right?
Okay.
You sort of need the judge on your side a little bit, and one of the ways you do that is, I'm not attacking the judge. Hey, Joe, I'm asking questions of the judge.
Oh, yeah,
hey,
I'm going
after
these guys. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not saying
that's one of the things that Mark Stevens talks about. Is that he's like, you want to put the onus back on the prosecutor's failure and make it about him and not the judge. The judge isn't
right. Because I'm not attacking the judge. We're not attacking the judge. We're not saying, hey, Judge, you're a fucking idiot. All we're saying is, hey, Judge, listen, I need a judicial determination from you. Did Officer so-and-so probable cause? The judge isn't doing anything wrong by making a decision either way, okay? He's supposed to make a decision that he doesn't have probable cause. But when he does that, he doesn't lose face, the judge, when he makes that. Because a lot of times they'll say, Officer so-and-so didn't have probable cause, and they'll dismiss it.
So let me ask you this question then. How does your bill of compensation have any weight?
Well, think about it this way. No man, and this goes back to real basic stuff, no man can force another man to be somewhere. Okay, that's slavery. I can't force you to be somewhere. I can say, Travis, listen, I need you to be here Friday. You have to be there. And if you're not there, I'm going to come lock you up. Nobody has that power to dictate to somebody if they have to be somewhere at a certain time. There's procedures to get somebody there at a certain time like that. It's called filing a complaint against them and have them properly served, a summons. That's the only way you can get somebody in there, or file a criminal complaint, go into a judge or like go into the cops and swearing that somebody's done something to you, they've injured you in some way, and they issue a warrant. They're the only two ways they can force you to be somewhere and answer. Well, if that notice to appear is not an official summons, which it's not, then how am I in this court? That sort of sounds like a threat. It's an order in a way. You better be here. It's a notice to appear. Well, listen, since this is not a summons and I haven't been properly summoned to court, hey, my time's valuable. I'm losing money here. The judge is being paid to be here. The cop's being paid to be here. The district attorney's being paid to be here. Why don't I get compensated to be here? I'm not a slave. You don't snap your fingers and I show up somewhere because you tell me to be there. There's ways to make that happen. File a complaint. file a civil or criminal complaint against me. If you don't do that, aren't I due just compensation? You're making me be somewhere. I'm losing money. I'm losing valuable time.
Yeah.
I want to be paid. Now, are you going to get paid? Probably not. But it's not out of line for you to walk in there and hand a bill to the fucking cop. Because remember, you weren't summoned to court. You weren't properly summoned to court. So why are you there? Oh, it sounds like he ordered you there, didn't he? Give me notice to appear. Well, it's an order. Okay, here. You're going to pay for my time then. I want to be compensated. That's just one of the things to throw on for the letter to the judge. They see what you're doing, and it's just like a shitstorm you're trying to throw at them that they know is a problem, and they say, make this guy go away, or make this ticket, make this citation go away. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
There's a million more sheep that are coming through the gates. Why fuck with this guy,
All right. Yeah. Alphonse, oh, man, brother.
You got that? You. You got to get the basics down, man. That's the basics.
Man, I've got this recorded. I'm going to be listening to it like 5 times in a row. So. And
that's really where it all stems from. And 99% of that can be used for any case out there. Anything doesn't have to be traffic. It could be anything. Remember, for anyone to interact with you, they need a friggin' warrant to interact with you. They just can't come in and start taking your shit and start taking your information and doing things with it, which they do. It's what a cop's doing.
Yeah.
You have a warrant to take your license, and even when he runs your information through the computer, that's a search. That's an unlawful search. But when you give him your license, they'll assume you consented to it. Okay? It's still an unlawful search, and I'm not going to get into button heads with them about that, but it's an unlawful search. I'm going to defeat them with basically the basics. Hey, Judge, did Officer so-and-so have probable cause for the arrest? Well, you weren't arrested. Sure I was, Judge. That's an arrest. Citation's proof of the arrest. If I can't leave somewhere, someone's making me stay there, I'm arrested. I don't care what you call it. That's an arrest. Okay.
Now, okay. So last question. I really want to let you go because I don't want to tie you up all night. But so, and I guess it doesn't really matter. But I was surprised they didn't read me my rights.
When you were arrested?
Yeah.
That's a big one. Yeah, that's Miranda rights violation. That's another motion. Failure to read my Miranda rights. Yeah, there's your fourth motion. There's your other motion. So you send a letter, and hopefully they'll respond, or you'll get something back. They'll make your thing go away. But if not, you're going to walk in court with written motions in your hand, 3 or 4 written motions in your hand. One of them will be motion to dismiss, failure to read my Miranda rights. And then you just cite the Miranda case. Every stop, you got to be read your Miranda rights. Right there, you have a motion to dismiss.
Huh.
Got a motion to dismiss for a couple things. Motion to dismiss, failure to state a cause of action. Remember, a cause of action is a complaint. Who filed a complaint against you? The district attorney didn't file a complaint against you. The cop didn't file a complaint against you. Motion to dismiss, failure to state a cause of action for which the court can grant relief. How can the court grant relief to the cop? You didn't injure him. How can they issue relief to the district attorney? There's no injured party. So that's one. Failure to state a cause of action. Failure to be read your Miranda rights. Motion to dismiss for failure to be Mirandized. That's a motionable. You can issue an order for the court to issue an order to dismiss the case. You were Mirandized, so that's 2. Then you have the other stuff. You could put the thing motion for dismiss too, because we could also put that in writing that Officer so-and-so didn't have probable cause. And we could state that in a motion also. Officer so-and-so did not have a warrant and did not have probable cause for the arrest, whatever date it was, at time, whatever it was. But that could also be a motion you submit to the court. Because all that shit is now on the record. When you submit those motions, they're now on the court record. And when you get those motions, as soon as you get those motions, if they're going to take this to trial, they want to take it to trial or proceed with it, you take those motions and you go to the clerk and you say, I need a hearing for these motions. I need you to schedule a hearing for these motions. Because the other side's got to have a chance to come back and rebut the motions.
Right.
But what are they going to rebut? Did he have a warrant? No. Did he have probable cause? Well, Judge, he didn't have plates. That's not probable cause. Okay, so there's really nothing to rebut. We're not arguing. We're arguing basics. Did he have a warrant or didn't he have a warrant? No, he didn't have a warrant. He's got no way around that. So when you take those motions, you ask for a hearing from the clerk for those motions. I'm not talking capital letter name stuff. I'm not talking fringe flag. I'm not talking fringe flag. I'm talking the basics of law. You need a warrant. Did he have a warrant? No. Why are we here? What are we doing here? I don't understand. What are they doing here?
All right, Alphonse. Hey, listen. One of the times
if the judge wants to be cute with you and says, "Well, Miss Travis, then if you didn't have to show up today, then why'd you show up?" Oh, you're out. Listen, I wanted to see if there was a verified complaint filed with the court because, Judge, I think I need to take action against the district attorney, a cop, for filing a false complaint against me, and I wanted to show up to verify that.
Or you could say, what would have happened to me if I didn't show up?
Judge, you know what happened. You would have drugged me you would have sent some guys with guns to drag me in the court. That's right. It's not a choice, I appeared under duress, Judge. Okay, under duress and threat, I appeared. Threat? What threat? Judge, if I don't show up, you're going to send a bunch of guys with guns in cars with guns to my house, and then you're going to drag me in here. So of course I'm going to show up. Yeah. But you stick to the basics. It's all basics, dude. It's all point A.
And it really is. It's very simple. It's very
Never
simple.
go to B, C, and D. Always stay with A. Never go to what you did. That's the first thing people do. They argue what they did. They're arguing their case. No.
Yeah.
Let's go talk about him first. Before we even move on to me, let's get his shit straightened out first. Let's see where he's at, okay? Because he's never right. He never does it right.
Yeah.
He can't. When he pulls you over, he's done.
Yeah.
But you can't argue with him on the side of the road. You can't do that. It's not going to work.
Right.
Just take the citation, show him whatever the fuck he wants, and then you just send that letter to the judge and the DA and the officer, and hopefully they make it go away at that point. If they don't, we take just what we wrote down there and we turn them into motions. Hey, there's no complaint. Well, we go after jurisdiction right off the bat. Motion to dismiss. Failure of a personal or subject matter jurisdiction. Remember, without a complaint filed before the court, there's no jurisdiction. That's a motion to dismiss. Right there. What are we doing here? There's no complaint filed against me. Hey, motion to dismiss. Failure to have a warrant or probable cause. State probable cause. Boom.
Now, would you, along with your 4 paragraphs, would you submit a request for discovery, which would include the complaint, or you just leave it as the 4 that you just a single motion with your 4 points?
I would leave it open, like, hey, listen, I'll gladly appear at your thing, but Judge, when I walk in, I think I started to pervert. When I walk in, the first thing I'm going to need from you, Judge, because I'm not going after the judge. Judge, first thing I'm going to need, because we're blaming the cop. We're not blaming the judge. Judge, first thing I'm going to need from you is I'm going to need you to make a judicial determination on whether Officer so-and-so had probable cause for the arrest. And also I'm going to need a warrant. I'm going to need a judicial decision if Officer so-and-so had probable. We know he didn't have a warrant. If Judge, because remember, they know he don't have a warrant, so we don't have to bring that up. We're just going to stick on probable cause. Or if Officer so-and-so had probable cause for the citation. Boom. That's the first thing we want to know from the judge. We put down number 1. Judge, I'm going to need rulings on these. Because he knows you're a problem, dude. You walk in there, he's got to make rulings on probable cause. And if he's trying to cover the cop's ass by saying he did have probable cause, he can get overturned on an appeal, which he will get overturned because the cop doesn't have probable cause. So he's got to, in a way, either tell the nudge to the cop that, hey, make this thing go away, or the district attorney, hey, make this thing go away, or you guys are going to get fucked here. You guys are going to fuck you, basically. Because I got to make a ruling. I have to rule this way. And he'll try and move on to the code. He might try and ignore and obfuscate and move on to the code.
Yeah.
And, Judge, listen, Judge, I need a ruling, Judge. I need a ruling on probable cause. And then he keeps trying to move you over something. Say, Judge, hold on. Is there a complaint filed before this court? Is there a verified complaint? Where's the plaintiff, Judge? I need to be able to question the plaintiff. Well, you got the cop. He's not the plaintiff, Judge. There's no complaint filed by Officer so-and-so. I need to see a complaint, Judge. I need to see a complaint, and I wasn't properly served any summons. So you're taking their entire process apart, basically. You're making them stick to the rules, and they're not sticking to the rules.
Okay.
So you do the letter first, you know, and the letter's sort of, hey, listen, I'll show up, but hey, when I show up, here's what I'm going to need. Okay. And you can actually put in there about like the last paragraph where I put, you know, I need $1,000. Say, hey, listen, the judge is being paid for his time, the officer is being paid for his time, the district attorney is being paid for his time. No man can just force me to appear somewhere without going through the proper steps, without having me serve the summons, basically a proper summons. Say no man can make me appear somewhere, so I need to be compensated for my time. That's not an unreasonable request. What's unreasonable? They're being paid. Well, why shouldn't you get paid? Not like somebody summons you to be there and you have to go answer.
Right.
No, they give you a notice to appear. So walk in, hand the cop a bill. And the district attorney, if he's there, hand him bills. Here's your bill. Now they'll holler, they'll scream, hey, you're being paid to be here. Hey, say, hold on a second. You're being paid to be here. I want to be paid to be here. No man can make me appear anywhere. Listen, sir, you need me to appear somewhere? You need to go file criminal or civil charges against me. I don't see civil or criminal charges that get filed against me. So I'm here. You're forcing me to be here. You're going to pay for my time. Just to go up their ass. Just to stick it up their ass. Because you're not in the wrong by doing that. You're doing nothing out of line. You're asking to be compensated for your time.
Yep.
Why not?
Yep. Reasonable.
Why not? What's unreasonable? Yeah, what's unreasonable about that? Hey, you guys are being paid to be here. I'm not being paid right now. I'm losing money being here. So you just want to make it, you want that judge to look at that letter and go, this guy's just a pain in the ass. But you're asking the right questions. When you start asking him about judicial decision about probable cause, he's in a corner at that point. He knows he's got to make a decision. Well, as soon as he makes a decision that the cop didn't have probable cause, were you arrested for 9 hours?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that decision be proof that the cop broke the law and falsely imprisoned you for 9 hours? Yep. So he's going to try and make this whole thing go away. They don't want to see you in court. Their hope is not to see you in fucking court because you'd hang the cop. The judge could hang the cop basically by just making a decision that he didn't have probable cause. Oh, he didn't have probable cause. Now you got a judicial decision, a court decision that he didn't have probable cause, and you have a cop that locked you up for 9 hours. Now we go deal with the cop. Hey, look at this. This guy falsely arrested me and falsely imprisoned me. Then you go after, that's a tort. Then you go after damages. Then you go after money. But first thing first, you're trying to box him in. And you're just boxing him in with the basics, man. And if you can run that through your head over and over again, it's hard to wrap your head around it. It took me a while to get the whole concept together.
You've got it down, man. You're singing it like you memorized "Born to Run" by Bruce Springsteen, and you're just singing it over and over again.
Like, see, to me, it's the Matrix. It is the Matrix, seeing through the Matrix. Because when you go, like you said, you sat there in traffic court. Did you hear anyone make any kind of argument like this? Just a basic argument.
Oh, no.
Nope. Didn't even think about it.
I was the only one that day that did anything different.
Right.
Even though it wasn't as poignant as your approach, but yeah.
And he got frazzled, and he still got frazzled, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I didn't think I intimidated him, but I think that he wasn't happy that someone was giving him grief and not just bending over.
You questioned him, but the way to do it is, like, when you start asking for probable cause, remember, we're not going after the judge. Hey, Judge, I got nothing against you. You're the third-party impartial trier of facts up there. I got nothing against you, Judge. I just want to know, Officer so-and-so didn't do it right. Officer so-and-so supposed to have a warrant, Judge. I just need you to make a decision. Did Officer so-and-so have probable cause? We're not attacking the judge. We're just asking for a decision. Hey, did this guy do it right? That's all we're asking. This guy didn't do it right, Judge. He didn't do this thing right. That's all we're asking the judge. Did he do it right, Judge, or not? Oh, he didn't do it right? Gotta let me go. We're not attacking the judge. Hey, this is bullshit. You got a fringe flag. We're not capital name stuff. The capital name doesn't matter. As soon as you bring warrants and probable cause in, and the basics, hey, is there a complaint filed with the court? No complaint filed. There's no personal or subject matter jurisdiction without a complaint filed with a court. Think about that. Wrap your head around that. People are in court at traffic court. There's nothing filed against them. There's no verified complaint filed against them, and people are walking into that court and making pleas with nothing being filed against them. That's how brainwashed they have the public with this stuff. It's bizarre, and it's so basic. Hey, is there a complaint filed with this court? Because remember, there's got to be a plaintiff, dude. There's got to be a plaintiff, a defendant, and a cause of action. Who's the plaintiff? Who's the defendant? And what are we fighting about? Who's the injured party here? What's the dispute? There is none with a traffic citation. So I said that you defeat them with the basics. So just try and wrap your head around that stuff, man. Just keep running it through, and it'll just start to click.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I know how to defeat this. I know how to defeat that. Everything comes back to the basics. Hey, what are you doing fucking with me?
You said there's no plaintiff, there's no defendant, there's no what?
There's no cause of action.
Cause of action.
Remember, when I file a complaint against you, I go file against Travis, boom, boom, boom. Me and Travis, we had a contract. Travis was supposed to pick up my garbage, 3 times a week, and Travis hasn't picked up my garbage in 2 months, and I got trash all over. We have a dispute, okay? You and I have a dispute. So I file a complaint against you. And then I have to have you process of service. I got to get another party to serve you that's not a party to the action to hand the paper to you and say, hey, you've been served. You've got to show up and answer to these questions.
Right.
That's the only way I can bring you into court civilly. I can't stand on high and say, well, I'm a judge and you need to be here on this day. You need to show up to court on this day. Well, why do I need to show up to court? In case in point, I just got jury duty stuff. You know what you do when you get jury duty notices?
What?
You throw them in the trash. You toss them in the trash. It's not a summons. And at first, I went at him. I still defeated him. I wrote the sheriff a letter, and they left me alone. But the second one I got from my mom, Zeke goes, no, man. He goes, it's not a summons. I go, no, you're right. He goes, fucking throw it in the trash. It's not a summons. No court can summons me to be there for jury duty. Dude, the only way you can get me in court, what's the only 2 ways? Criminal action, civil action. Well, that's not a criminal or civil action filed against me. Nobody served me a summons to appear in court. So even though they call it a summons, the thing they send out, that's not a summons. You throw it in the trash.
Because it wasn't served by a third party.
It's not a real summons. Yeah, it's not a summons because not only is it not served by a third party, dude, for you to be served a summons, there's a complaint that has to go with that summons.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's got to file a complaint against you. There's no complaint filed against you.
It's like...
Complaint what? He didn't show up for jury duty? No. You see how this all opens up? You start going, oh, wait a minute. Everything's the same. Whether it's jury duty, whether it's traffic court, no matter what it is, it's all the same. Hey, what are you doing fucking with me? Do you have a warrant to fuck with me? What are you doing messing with me? Oh, I'm messing with you because of this code. Oh, I don't go by your code. I just know that you need a warrant or probable cause to mess with me. Where's your warrant or what's your probable cause for messing with me? Otherwise, you and I have no more business together. So I told traffic, we have no more business together. Unless you filed a complaint against me and you properly served me a summons, we have no more business together. And I wrote the sheriff a letter, a little paragraph. Hey, sheriff. I called him Jerry. Hey, Jerry. Jury duty. These people say, remember, they send you a thing and they say, hey, we need you to fill this questionnaire out and sign it. Hey, Jerry, I refused, I chose not to fill out their form, as doing so would be a violation of my rights, which it is. It's a violation of your right to be secure in your papers. It'd be a violation of my rights. So I chose not to. And these people keep writing me. Jerry, I should have never heard from these people after the first letter I sent them, telling them that I'm not interested. And I should have never heard from them at that point. I sent the sheriff a letter. Never heard from anybody after that. Never got anything from anybody after that. Remember, the sheriff, people think he just works for the courts because the courts use him. But you can make him work for you, too. These people, this guy did this. Hey, I want to report a crime, sheriff. This guy did this without a warrant. He seized my property. You didn't have a warrant, judge. You didn't have a warrant, sheriff. I need you to investigate this. You're allowed to do that with a sheriff. You're allowed to have a sheriff work for you. So you're reporting a crime. Hey, he's a constitutional officer, the sheriff. He knows the law. He's supposed to know the law, the real law. Remember, the law of the land is the Constitution. It's not our law, their law. They're the ones that are sworn to that, the Constitution. That's the law of the land. Okay? their codes and statutes are they're 180 degrees in conflict with the Constitution. So they're bullshitting everybody by enforcing codes against people. And people don't know any better because we've all been dumbed down and we weren't taught in school and taught the basics. We were taught about separation of powers, and we never understood what the real power of the separation of powers is.
Hey, listen, I have a song that I'm going to send you after. Do you have iTunes or?
I don't have iTunes.
Okay, so you don't have an app, an iPhone?
No.
Do you use Spotify or anything?
No, I just have Amazon Music now.
Amazon. I'll check and see. Either way, I'm going to get you this song. This guy from Germany made a CD. A lot of it's German, but some of it is in English. And he sampled a shitload of Crow and then just put a backbeat to it. It is absolutely amazing. You'll just be like, that is so Crow. It is so good. I'll have to send it to you. Either way,
Well, Crow's good too, but I'll be with Crow. I mean, I'll talk to him again, but I want to walk in there with a track record first. I'm fighting stuff out myself.
Well, I'll contribute my two efforts that are coming up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the reason I gravitate to a guy like Zeke, and I talk to Zeke is, dude, he's got a track record. He's not one of them guys that says, oh, just do this, just do that, just do this. No, he went in there and did it already numerous times. Okay,
right.
And here's how he beats them is on the basics. Hey, Judge, did he have probable cause? We're just staying with the basics. And I looked at that; it made so much sense to me. I went, that's the common law. That's what common law is right there.
Yeah.
Okay, you have judicial power. No one has judicial power in that traffic court except you. You know what your judicial power is? Your motions.
Your motion to
Your motions.
Yeah. No, that's it. You're
forcing judicial power. Hey, motion to dismiss. I was not Mirandized, as per, that's going to be one of your motions. And you know what? Also state that in your 4 points. Make that first make that point 1, I guess. And then put mine as, point 2 through 5. Point 1, just real basic though, just say, whatever his name is, say I was arrested and I was not Mirandized. That's just required by, and you could find it on, you've seen it online, the Miranda, right? The act, the little,
Yep.
that you need to be Mirandized, they have to Mirandize you. And you could copy that and put that right under the first thing you write there. Just a copy of it. That judge knows you need to be Mirandized. They all know it, that you need to be Mirandized. Hey, Judge, I wasn't Mirandized. That's number 1. Then you go into my points after that. So that's a shitstorm for them sitting there. Like, oh, my God, you got a Miranda problem. We have a probable cause problem. It starts to mount, and they go, just make this guy go away. Let's just get rid of him. There's too many sheep out there to reel in. They don't want to fuck with you.
Thank you so much for tuning into Red Hen Radio. I'm your host, Travis Finley. Make sure that you subscribe, share, like, hit that bell notification to be kept up to date with Red Hen Radio episodes, live streams, hangouts, if I'm able to afford those to you, my faithful listening audience. Thanks again so much for checking in. I do hope that this is profitable for you, that this is eliciting some cognitive dissonance to squint and read between the lines when what you see isn't what ought to be. Trust your senses, question your sources, resist consensus. Until next time.
Look at any of these events that we see weekly now that are made up in the media. There's no edge to the deception. You look up to the stars, you're still looking at the same ball of wax.
System protest.
They're playing a game. You're looking at a system, and the system doesn't stop. playing a game. When you look at school, what you have been taught is how to function within their system. You have been taught nothing about the system. They're playing a game.